My name is Alyssa Sanchez, and this is my creative project for Special Education 5550 at Austin Peay. I chose to write a poem, so here we go. Disability. Dis from the Latin meaning not, ability meaning to be capable. A simple word that is so fraught, a word that for many is inescapable. A word we use to label others who need some help succeeding, particularly our sons and brothers, so the numbers can be misleading. This label can be a curse, stopping some from their true potential, though most would expect the obverse, especially when assigned by someone with the credential. A label they carry for all their lives, a label from which they cannot hide, a label that deprives, a label that is simplified. But this label can be a blessing, offering the help they were so needing, keeping parents and kids alike from guessing, knowing what was causing the impeding. No matter if a kid has a label, they should not be isolated. They should always have a seat at the table. We never want them to feel hated. Inclusion is the best policy, helping everyone to learn empathy, trying to make up for the past honestly, working to prevent future inequity. Laws can only do so much. We as a society must make sure our most vulnerable are not hushed. Education for everyone must stay secure. So my process for writing this poem is that I began with the etymology of the word disability because I feel like it's such a loaded term in our society. I wanted to kind of break it back down and bring it back to that denotation and spend the rest of the poem working on the connotation because we have this kind of negative view of this word, which is why I began on a less happy note, kind of discussing the negatives that can come from labeling students, particularly that they may not be getting the help they need because that word label may not be correct, or it might be simplified and not giving them all the help they need. But I mainly wanted to look at that negative connotation from the perspective of the person labeled with a disability and not from society. I feel like we constantly look at it from society's perspective, but we need to be able to empathize, and that's something that we struggle with, particularly with people that we judge as being different. Furthermore, I also mentioned the fact that the majority of boys are in special education classes because I think it's important that we realize that sometimes professionals aren't always 100% correct. You know, there is an overpopulation of boys, whether that should be or not, is a discussion that needs to be had. And I think we need to make sure that people are accountable for those numbers and it's being taken care of. I then chose to end on a brighter note, particularly the idea of inclusion and making sure that all students feel welcome in a school and in a classroom. As an inclusion teacher, I see every day how both my special education kids as well as my general education kids grow and learn and inspire each other, and I think that's something that needs to be implemented throughout the country. Inclusion is just, it helps everybody. And then finally, I ended with a call to action. It's through parental outcry that we're even able to pass IDEA in the first place, and I think it's only through the public pressuring the government that we would be able to get the funding that special education programs require and that they deserve in order to make them fully fledged. So that's my explanation for why I wrote my poem. And thank you for watching. Bye.